Hello, YouTube. It is I, the special great sorcerer of the anime manga sphere, SSJ Cody, and today I want to talk to you about a hidden gem in shonen anime manga. Now, a lot of people have read Bleach or have seen Naruto or even One Piece, and I think that there is a series out there that deserves just as much love as those 30, maybe even more. It is called Katekyo Hitman Reborn. Now, what is Katekyo Hitman Reborn? Well, it starts off as a gag manga following the adventures of this 8th grader named Tsunayoshi Sawada. And Suna is literally like a loser in every sense of the word. He can't do math, he can't do English, he can't pass his Japanese class, he's not physically active, he's just constantly like losing at every aspect of life. And it's a really funny gag manga that's put up into slice of life while introducing the main cast. And one of these ways that we go about this slice of life aspect of it is that this 8th grader, who is a loser at everything, gets told by a 1-year-old baby that he is going to be the next head of the mafia. What do you mean a 1-year-old baby said this? Listen, it'll all make sense, and trust me, it makes up for one of the coolest gags and one of the most intense fights in the whole series. So it starts up like, this really a slice of life, like I said, while introducing the main cast in a really gag-centric way, while Suna is filling out his mafia family, so to speak. And in getting these life lessons from his tutor, the baby Reborn, he gets the bullets that put him in a near-death state that make him desperate in a situation to live in any aspect or form. It's called death-paration. It's kind of like a pun on desperation and dying with death, death-paration. And so he gets these death-paration bullets. And they cause all of the clothes on his body to rip off, but he can have superhuman abilities for a moment. And this weird flame generates on his head. And most of like the first 20 episodes or around first 25 chapters of this manga follow this gag of like Suna gets into a situation, meets a person, has to use this power to get out of the situation and save it in a silly way that's funny because he's in his underwear. And everything that builds up through that first arc until the first fight is insane, because what you think is just like a funny gag actually turns out to be the whole crux for this power system. And that's going to be another thing of like flame attributes and dying will modes. That's right, because death-paration status, as it's called, is just one mode of activating this. Because what if you could be, instead of in a crazed status while trying not to die, you could actually control this. Well, later on throughout the series, Suna actually learns to control that mode. And it actually, through becoming the next head of the mafia, is able to share in this power and have other people activate their own dying flames. And each of these flames are representative of their moods, characters, not characters. What I'm trying to say is each of these flames are representative of the character's archetype. So like a really bombastic character like Goku Dera has the storm flame, but someone who's really carefree and easygoing like Yamamoto has the rain flame. It's all like, what kind of character is this character going to be, and what kind of flame are they going to have to represent their powers? And while it is like about strength, most of the fights in the series aren't about like, man, who has the bigger flame, or does this flame just outbeat this flame? No. The dying flames actually allow for creative strategic battles. And I think that's one of the coolest things, because the sun flame, in a way, gives you a way to regenerate. And so you have like people who can regenerate versus people who can ultimately destroy things. I don't want to actually spoil too much about it, but I just know that like the power system with dying flames, it actually goes hella in depth. So make sure that like you're locked in when checking this out. If I were to talk about the cast, I think there'd be too many characters for me to mention. I have them pulled up on my screen right here. First off, Tsunayoshi Sawada is one of the greatest freaking like climbs to chadhood I've ever seen in a setting of shonen. Like Suna really just knows how to fucking bring out the best in everything that is like, a climb to being a Chad. He always puts his friends first. He's always making sure he makes the right decision for the family, for the mafia, and he even wants to reform the mafia into be something more positive for the world going forward instead of what they have been doing. Freaking amazing. If we were to talk about the Guardians, I mean, I think I love all of them. It's hard for me to pick just one. I mean, Ryohei, Takashi, Hayato, Lambo. Lambo is probably top one. Lambo is like one of the biggest gag-centric characters in the whole series, but when he locks in, he has this bazooka that lets him time travel 10 years into the future. And that's him locking in, dude, because once he's 10 years old, he goes from being a 4-year-old to a 14-year-old, and he can actually like participate in battles and stuff. That's what I mean about the gags in this series, making them think that they're just gags, and then they turn out to be crucial crux points for battles up and coming throughout the series. The arcs, I mean, like I said, it literally goes from slice of life gag manga to one of the most like peak shonen battle mangas that I think we've ever had in the past decade. You have the Varia arc where you have like a big giant tournament between two different factions within the family. You have a future arc where Tsunayoshi has to travel to a desolate future and have a new power system develop so that they can battle. You have the inheritance arc where there's deep emotional stakes with the background of the freaking Vongola family and the Shimon family. But if I were to like wrap up, and I want to tell y'all why I think it's a must read. Tsunayoshi's a badass. He is one of the coolest fucking engaging characters, I think, in shonen manga. I think that it has one of the coolest freaking power systems in Dying Will and Desperation statuses. Reborn is also a really cool character who is, I think he's, well, I think I'd put him in like a top 10 mentors of all time. He is just as like eccentric as Jiraiya, but he's just as mysterious like as Kisuke Urahara. Like he has like this air of mystery about him, and he's a baby, but he's a competent baby that apparently the whole mafia world fears. So it literally has one of the best MC growth arcs. It's an amazing power system with an unforgettable cast and numerous amounts of unforgettable fights. Even if the anime didn't finish the manga is 100% worth reading, and I think it's worth finishing out just for those last 2 arcs we didn't get finished. But if you think that there's any other series that should be a must check out or a hidden gem like Katekyo Hitman Reborn, let me know down in the comments and have a wonderful day. Thanks!